Hi everybody, this is Amber with Amber Noelle Stitches. Welcome to my FlossTube number 2, and I'm glad you're here. I hope that you're having some great fall weather. Hope that you maybe are getting some fall weather. Here in Tulsa, we're just getting high 80s, so it's not even close to hot cocoa by the fire weather yet. We're still sweating and wearing flip-flops and shorts. And I have no idea, even by Halloween, if we're going to be in Halloween costume weather or not. So I hope you're getting some nice fall weather wherever you are. And I hope you've had a great week and a great weekend. And let's dive into what I got going on this week. So first of all, what have I added to my collection this week? I've been very good. I haven't added anything technically. So if you subscribe to Primrose Cottage newsletter, then you know that this lovely pattern came into your newsletter last Thursday. If you're like, what in the world are you talking about, Amber? Primrose Cottage send out newsletters all the time, but their first Thursday newsletter of each month will have a free pattern in it, and you print it or you put it in your pattern keeper and you get to stitch it, and then it won't be released into a paper pattern for a year, 9 months, something next season. And so you're the first one to get it and stitch it, and it's super exciting. And then if you join the Primrose Cottage Facebook page, you get to see everybody who has stitched it. And usually by the end of Thursday, by dinner on Thursday, there will be several people that will have already completed this, and they're amazing. So I have this kitted up. I need to get, I think, rain shower. Also, heads up, if you haven't kitted it yet, they did add a correction afterwards that it says on the pattern Weeks Dye Works, but these are actually classic color work threads. So if you're in the Weeks Dye Work section trying to figure out why you can't find chocolate mousse, that would be why. It's classic. As always, you can use DMC, but I think the word autumn will be beautiful done on over-dyed thread. I think the rest of it you probably could get away with, but I've got everything else but rain shower. So of course, I'm gonna have to buy more thread. It's the way it goes, doesn't it? Also, I think by now everybody has gotten their sip and stitch from Primrose Cottage, so I can show you what I've got. Last week I forgot to show 2 things that were actually in the box that I forgot because I'd already started using them. So ignore all the needle minders on here because I didn't want to take them all off, to be honest. But this adorable, very useful pattern holder was part of the sip and stitch, the autumn sip and stitch. And then this beautiful gourd needle minder was part of the sip and stitch also. These, I would like to tell you that this is my needle minder collection, but I would be lying because I have way more than these. This is just what would fit on here. I like needle minders. I use them all the time. Some people don't. You're either pro or anti. I get it. I like to just pop my needle there and I know where it's at all the time. So that came in the sip and stitch along with the gourd needle minder. Also, these patterns came in the sip and stitch. So this is Autumn Basket, which is absolutely precious. And then this is Autumn Harvest, Happy Harvest, I'm sorry. And then a little one on the back, which I can't really show without showing the pattern. Hold on, hold the phone. Let's see here. Boom, boom. There's also a little one right there that you can stitch, and you get the finishing stuff for all of that. So I've already kitted this one. I think I've got to find 927. I have it somewhere. It's just not in my box with all the rest of my 9s. So I've already got fabric in my stash, and I do not need another thing to stitch, but it's autumn, and I might add it to my rotation. Good night. So that is what I have added to my collection, but not really. Now, just cross stitch Christmas issue has arrived at the shops. So if you ordered it from your shop, it was mailed. It should have been mailed. Now I know I'm a subscriber to Just Cross Stitch, so I get the Halloween and the Christmas issue in the mail. I don't have to buy them from the shop. I have finally, after all these years, remembered that I don't have to buy it at the shop. It actually comes in the mail. So I haven't gotten that yet, but that should be coming. And so hopefully I can talk about it next week. I love my Christmas ornament issue. I have a binder back here. I'll talk about it next week. I have every year. I love them. I love glancing through them, post sticky notes. Love it. We'll talk about it later. But that should be coming. I'm sorry, I keep hitting the table and jostling you guys. That should be coming. It better be here this week or we're going to protest Just Cross Stitch. We're not. But that sounds like I could do something. So that should be showing up. Now, what do I have next? So, fully finished. I forgot to show this last week. And it's rather large. So, I'm going to just kind of pan it as best I can. Satsuma Street did a stitch along last year. That was the Monster House. It has now been released as a printed pattern. We talked to Jody, or Lindy talked to Jody last week, and she is she doesn't have any in stock. She's not out of print, don't freak out. But she is out of stock on the Monster House charts. So if you're trying to get it and stitch it before Halloween, it's not gonna happen, y'all. It's just not. So I finally got mine framed. So here is Satsuma Street Monster House. I loved every stinking part of this, absolutely. So when you get a stitch along with Satsuma Street, you get, this was in 6 parts, I believe. And so the first part was this part that had the 31, I can't read backwards, 13, and it had your butler, your scary little butler, and it had the cats on the steps. And then next you got, I think we got headless horse person, headless pumpkin person, my bad, and this part. And each you get it every 2 weeks. Each time I would get one, I would squeal because it's absolutely precious. And then you get the ghosts who are dancing in a circle. And of course you've got the kraken octopus tentacles that are all over the place. And then you get the howling wolf. And then you get Miss Witch stirring in her cauldron. And then you get the boarded up attic with all the little eyeballs in it. And then you get, he looks like some character from when my kids watched a cartoon growing up. I can't remember what that was called. But, and then you get Upside Down Dracula who's taking a nap. And then you get Mr. Mummy. And then you get this, I mean, all of it's just fabulous. Look at that. So, put it on the back burner, put it in your wish list somewhere, tell your LNS to back order it for you, place an order, but you're not going to get this by Halloween, more than likely, unless Jody did a rush on print. But this is mine, and I absolutely love it. The other thing, this frame, was from Hobby Lobby's clearance section. So if you go to Hobby Lobby and you go, in my Hobby Lobby, it's in the back right part of the store. And they've got stuff that's been dinged and messed up and whatever. And this frame is 11 by 17 and it had been gouged. And so it wasn't all black. There was white where it had been nicked. And I knew I had black paint at home. And so it was normally, well, even on half price, it was still a lot cheaper than it would have been on half price. So, and I know that I'm going to need an 11 by 17 and it worked perfect. So Monster House by Satsuma Street is amazing. So I hope you can get a copy, or if you've got a copy, I'd love to see what you've stitched. It was so much fun. So there is that one. Now, you were here last week. You saw 3 of my things that I was working on. So here is Val's stuff. Halloween. I finished him. Is he not the cutest thing? And so I lied and said that his teeth were blue. They're actually purple. But that was it. He's finished. The cutest thing ever. So I love in her instructions. Hold on, let me get them real quick so I quote it properly. Okay, in her instructions, I think everybody should have this in their instructions, by the way. Okay, you're reading, apply a thin layer of glue, center the paper on the wood so there'll be relative even margin, blah, blah, blah. And then she says, it will not be perfect. And then she keeps on going. It will not be perfect. Calm down. Yes, everybody needs to hear that, because we will so fuss to get things absolutely perfect. It will not be perfect. It's okay. So there is my Halloween. He's a cutie pie. Love him. Absolutely. So there's that. The other thing I finished is my Snowflake from Friendstitch. So I have put on my hoop butt. So I took the inner part of the hoop, traced it on a piece of comic board or cardboard, took fabric, and then glued it on the back to cover up the messiness of inside the hoop. And then here is my stitched ornament. I did put the bling bling up top. I don't know if it'll stay, but there it is with the Lady Dot snow pom-poms. Absolutely love it. Can't wait to put on a tree. I might have to stitch other ones. Can't decide if I'm going to use that color or if I'm going to switch it up and do some other colors, because every single color will look fabulous with the white. Or not. Maybe 2 different colors. I don't know. I think this Snowflake is perfect, but you had to get it through Friendstitch. So if you missed it, I'm sorry. There's my Snowflake. And then Mr. Scotland Santa. Okay. I wrestled with this a lot. And then I think it was Tuesday, I came upstairs and I thought, I'm going to stop worrying about Mr. Scotland and I'm just going to finish it. And if I get a bright idea later before Christmas, then boom, I'll do something different. But I just put the foam, adhesive foam sheet. I just put it on the back. I put my stitched word Scotland in 2025 on there. And there he is. And it's okay. He's perfectly fine. I need to not stress about all the things. It will fit perfectly on their tree. And it looks great. And I'm just it's the stitching is what you're going to see. Not everything else. I worry too much. I overthink. My last name is Helms. That's what we say. You're a Helms, you overthink stuff. So that is what I have fully finished this week. Now, I want to show you something else that I fully finished that goes kind of along with what we were talking about with the Halloween. But I love my Shepherd's Bush bags, as you know. And then when this bag came out, they did a sheep on it, I think. And I don't love sheep. Don't love them. So Miss Val was coming for a retreat. And I thought, why can't I just grab one of Val's patterns and stitch it on a bag? And so I did. And I had to add the lime green outlines because Mr. Ghost disappeared. But this is one of her patterns. And I put it on the purple bag. And I think it's the cutest thing ever. So I keep all my Val stuff in here, which is scary because I have a lot that I need to sit down and do. And I probably need to schedule this next year to complete one a month. So I'm good to go for Halloween next year because these have been in here for a little bit. But this is how I stitched my Val Boo bag, I call it. So I keep everything in there that's Val stuff or Jabco, because the retreat I went to, Jabco and Val came together. So you don't have to stitch just the shepherd's bush patterns on the bags. You can stitch anything on the bags. But isn't that cute? Okay, so finished. Okay, I still have to work on Mr. Owl. Okay, so as you know, I talked about this last week, Mr. Wise Old Owl. And I talked about that you get to take a Sharpie and mark on the 18 count white perforated paper. And y'all, I don't know why we're not doing this more often. We're worried about getting all the right colors. Just go and find some permanent markers that are the color you want. So here is my perf paper, which is not showing up because it's not on. That doesn't really help, does it? But I took the Sharpie and I marked it over, and I did it a little bit dark in some places and a little bit light in some places because it's supposed to look like the sky. And I was worried when I stitched on it because I was worried that I was going to maybe get black Sharpie on my hands while I was stitching on it, and I didn't. So I don't know why we can't do this all the time. I marked Sharpie on it, let it dry, and I stitched on it, and it looks fine. It looks perfect. So y'all, I think that we all can do this because let's be honest, we're not getting the colored perf paper from Witchelt very often, okay? So here is the perf paper with the saying, okay? Here is my owl without his eyeballs, don't freak out. There's my owl. Now, don't be me. Don't be me. Val has taken a lot of time to write these amazing directions. Okay, there's amazing directions. You should read them and don't be like Amber, because Amber just willy-nilly just started going. And so I finished my owl and I cut him out, which always makes me very nervous and I get a heart attack because I'm so afraid I'm going to cut too close. Like, you got to get close to the edge, but you don't want to get too close, and it's a little nerve-wracking. I should probably, no. I was going to say I should drink wine, but that would probably not be good. I need to chill is what I need to do. But I finished Mr. Owl, and then I looked at the pattern, and I was like, oh, I need to outline Mr. Owl. So I'm just going to go ahead and outline Mr. Owl. And I didn't even pay attention to the directions. Outlined all around and was so excited, and then thought, okay, now I need to see what my next step's going to be. Guess what? When I outlined around Mr. Owl, I was supposed to put the felt on the back and outline through both the perf paper and the felt. So Amber had to backstitch and do it right the second time because I didn't read the instructions. So don't be me. So here's the owl. I've got a little bump thing that I'm supposed to glue here and put Mr. Owl so he kind of sticks out. And then I've got his feet that I'm gonna wrap around the little piece of the little stick. So I've got more work to do on Wise Old Owl, but I wanted to show you that we can use Sharpies on perf paper. It is possible, it is fabulous. Let's just do it and stop worrying about getting all the colors. I don't know, maybe not. So this one will hopefully be fully finished next week. That's the plan. So then I went through my Val bag, which I shouldn't have done. I should not have opened Val bag. I should have just left it alone. And I opened it and I saw something that I bought during the retreat several years ago. That's what you know, that there's some good stuff in there. And I thought, I can do that before Halloween. Like, I needed one more thing to do. Now this one is from Just Another Button Company, which is not Val. That is this is just another button company. I don't know if you've ever seen her needle print and play, but I don't remember her name. She's absolutely precious. I'm gonna forget it, but anyway, just another button company. What she does is she takes perf paper and she puts it through a printer. And again, I need a white piece of paper. I'm so sorry, y'all. So this is printed on a piece of perforated paper. Now, you also get it printed on a piece of paper. Well, there's white on here, so let me do that. Okay, so there it is on the perf paper. And then you get it here. And what you're gonna do is when you just have minimal stitching on here, and I still have some buttons I need to add. I need the spider body, and I've got 3 pumpkins, but I wanted to find coordinating fabrics or coordinating floss, so when I sewed them on here, it would disappear into the color of the button. So I'm still working on this one. But then what you're gonna do is you're gonna take this and you're gonna line it up, and then what it says in the instructions, because I read them, is I'm going to take, what color is it? Battleship, Week Star Works Battleship, and I'm going to whip stitch around the edge to whip stitch the perf paper and the regular paper together, and then pop it on a board, which I think I have in my closet. So, of course, I thought this will take no time at all. I'll be able to whip this out just nilly-willy, no problem. Because you only had needed black and 3865, and I'm like, I've got that. But then life gets in the way, and that's all I got done. So I will get this done before next week, because I'm determined that I do not need to set this aside and have it wait. So I did not need to add another thing to my finishing stash, but I did. Oh my goodness. Okay, so we've got my fully finished. You've seen my finished, but not fully finished. You've seen. Now, what do I have in my works in progress? Well, I did a lot of finishing, so I didn't get a lot of stitching done, but Satsuma Street dropped the 3rd part in her holiday house, which is just like her monster house, but it's the holiday house. So part 3 got dropped. Again, you can go sign up for this stitch along on satsumastreet.com. Here's part 3. It is a snowman, the snowman and the penguins and the little topiary. That's part 3. Are they not the cutest thing you've ever seen? The snowmen are kissing under the mistletoe, and the penguins are just dancing outside. Are they skating? I can't tell. So I started stitching this. You can't really tell that I've done much, but there's what I've got done. Can you see it? Yeah, I think you can see it. So I'm still working on it. I'm gonna wait till the end to do the white, because that white is a booger. Here you can see the whole thing. But next week, maybe, probably not, I will have part 3 done, probably not. I'm setting expectations for myself. That was me in my head setting my expectations, not for y'all. That was for my benefit, that I probably won't have this done. But you can kind of see the outline of all the little things that go with Mr. Snowman and Mrs. Snowman. But I just haven't gotten their snow. And so I'm still working on it. And then of course we got penguins on the bottom. But I love it. It just makes me so happy. So I hope that you're stitching holiday house, because it is just fun. And hopefully I can stay on track for Christmas and find a frame and do all the things. I don't know, maybe I can't. Now, 2 exciting things that happened this week. First of all, where are my StitchCon folks? Hello. I'm in week A. So if you're going to be at StitchCon next June and you're in week A, boom, let's meet, hug. I'm a hugger. If If you don't want to hug, fist bump, boop. But I would love to meet you at StitchCon Week A. Yay! So I will be there with Mona and Kim, and we're just going to have a blast. First time last year was our first time. Unjumble my words there. Last year was our first time, and so now we kind of have a clue what we're doing. We're going to probably figure more different things out for lunch because the hotel was a little disappointing. And concession, I didn't need nachos every day, so probably going to go get some chicken salad chick or something. And I did not need to bring 25 patterns. I'm sorry, I hit the table again. I did not need to bring as many. I didn't bring 25, but I brought a lot of stuff to stitch, and I just stitched a little and talked a lot. So I need to cut down on what I'm bringing, but I'm so excited. StitchCon 2026 Week A. Hello. Let's go. Yay. So next really fun, exciting thing that's going on is at the Silver Needle this week, we will have Teresa Vanette from Shakespeare's Peddler, or the Kitten Stitcher. Either way, it's still one person, Teresa Vanette. So she's coming in Tuesday night. We have 2 classes back to back. We have a Wednesday, Thursday class. We have a Friday, Saturday class. So we're going to have almost 40 people at both. I think there are 40 in Friday, Saturday. Once a year, I try to sign up for one class, especially if it's going to be a Wednesday, Thursday class, because Friday, Saturday is almost always full, and I need to work those classes. So I signed up. So I will be taking Teresa Vanette's class Wednesday, Thursday. So yay, I'm so excited. So I feel like I need to put a little bit more stitching in my Stars and Stripes. I feel like I need to start the Shakespeare's Peddler barn. So I probably will work on that. I don't know when, because I got all this other stuff to do. I don't need to sleep. How about that? Because I want to be doing something, and then I'm going to get this kit from Teresa Vanette, and it's amazing. I've already seen it because I work in the shop. Oh, but that'll be another thing I want to get done. So I have to add that to the rotation. Again, we just don't need to sleep. So that's exciting stuff that's happening this week. Now, let's talk Jingle Ball. Have you been paying attention? Because if you haven't, you've got to go to jingleball.com. You might have to put cross stitch in when you Google, because I didn't know if you know this, but there's actually a concert called Jingle Ball in New York City. It's not ours. It's not the one you want to look at. You want to look at the cross stitch one. So when you Google it, you might have to put Jingle Ball cross stitch 2025. It's going to be off the charts. So October 17th, tickets go on sale. I'm pretty sure there's a limit. I don't think the platform can hold everybody in the world. So you might want to get in there sooner than later. It went up to $15 this year. Totally fine. You get way more than $15 worth of entertainment and charts, free charts, stuff like that. You have to buy a lot of stuff if you want to, but you have to be at Jingle Ball to buy it. The classes, holy cow, y'all. Have you went and looked at the classes? Stacy Nash has just dropped this most amazing little mouse that's one of the animal crackers, and she's doing a class so that you can watch how she makes her little animal cracker. Hello. Hello. The animal crackers fly out the door at the shop every day. People love the animal crackers. And these two are adorable. One's a little mouse and one's a gingerbread man needle book. Hello. Hands-on design, I'm in. I'm taking her stand-up. She's got a stand-up Santa. I'm taking that class. I still think I'm going to maybe take the Liz Matthews class. I don't know. There's so many, and I don't want to spend $1,000. So, tell me what you're doing. Tell me what you're signing up for. I will be there. Mona and I are going to probably be together causing havoc and stitching during Jingle Ball. Jingle Ball will be the first weekend of December. So you buy the tickets on October 17th, which gives you access to the platform. You get to sign in, I think it's Friday night, December 4th. I don't know, whatever the first Friday of December is, and you get to be in this platform until Sunday at dinner. You can be there the whole time. You just don't even have to change clothes. You don't have to sleep. You just don't cook. You tell everybody else in your house to leave you alone, because from Friday night until Sunday at dinner time, you are occupied on the Jingle Ball, either through your phone, your iPad, your computer, and you are going to be watching hilarious things, amazing things. It's just so much fun. Lindy Stitches, Stephanie Webb at Lindy Stitches has done a great job with Jingle Ball. So I would highly recommend to get your ticket, because I'm going to get my ticket and I'm going to have a blast and I'll be talking about it. So let's talk about it together. You don't want to miss out. I have bought the Jingle Ball ornament book because this is the fourth year of Jingle Ball. Third, fourth, somebody correct me. I have them. I love them. I have stitched ornaments from them. They are just amazing. 15 bucks gets you in the door. Then you still have to buy exclusive patterns from each designer if you want them. If you don't, you just get to sit there and be entertained the whole time. You will love it. It's amazing. And you can jump into chat rooms and you can stitch and talk to folks. It's so much fun. So we're on a countdown. We're on a countdown. We've got 11 days until Jingle Ball tickets drop. And then we're in. What else we got going on? What else we got going on, y'all? It's October 6th. I hope that you are having a great October. I think I have talked about everything I have wanted to talk about. So I'm going to leave you with my Sarah calendar. Today it says, that voice inside that tells you you're unlovable must not know you at all, because we are lucky to have you. We all have that voice in our head. Tell it to shush, shush, shush. I needed to hear this today, because my voice in my head is a jerk. Just going to be honest. And that's a nice word. I could say some meaner words about the voice in my head. They don't know you. We are lucky to have you around. I'm lucky to have you. Thank you so much for listening and watching my video. Stay tuned. I'm going to do a tutorial on how to do these bags. So hopefully I can get that dropped this week, maybe next week. And I've got some other fun stuff I'm going to talk about. If you're interested in Foxwood crossing sleds, we're going to have a sled. We're going to talk about sleds. And so stay tuned. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you, and have a fabulous rest of your day. Thank you.